Consider supporting TMV Gaming on patreon.com for $1 a month. Link below in the description. Welcome to the ultimate PlayStation setup. The idea was simple. A practical, minimal, yet functional setup that would allow me to play any game that's been released on a PlayStation system within the last 20 plus years, and would allow easy access to any and all the peripherals needed to enjoy their gaming experiences. Initially, I considered buying a piece of furniture to accommodate this setup, so I turned to IKEA, Living Spaces, and several other popular retail-based furniture stores to look at my options, only to realize there was nothing out there that really worked with what I had in mind. So, with no options on the table, I decided to make one. I went through several designs, and the one that I settled on was not only the most practical, but also gave me the most potential when it came to configuring the devices that I had. This setup was designed with all the PlayStations and their slimline variants in mind, so there is enough space present for a PS1, PS2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita TV, the brand new PS4 Pro, and even the PlayStation VR, even though admittedly I don't quite own it yet. Also, you might have seen that I even grabbed the official PlayStation branded charging stations for the DualShock 3 and DualShock 4 controllers to keep them charged and ready for action. Not only was minimalism a core factor in this design, but function, which is why there's a cabinet system built in to allow ease of access to any classic PlayStation 3 games or to quickly pop in the latest release on the PS4 Pro. In addition, there are two drawers that allow ease of access to any other gaming related peripherals I might need and any other classic PlayStation 2 or PS1 games that I might own. Now I must admit, there was one more factor that played an intricate role in this setup, and that was cost. I wanted to build a nice yet financially practical setup, and after all was said and done, this setup was still under $200 worth of lumber and other materials, and while it has its fair share of imperfections, mainly because I'm an amateur when it comes to carpentry, I still love the way it came out. As I mentioned, having configuration options was important, and while I currently have the TV standing on its legs, resting on top of the credenza, there is nothing stopping me from wall mounting it, hiding the cables, and laying the consoles down in their horizontal positions or spreading them out in their vertical positions, or if you even wanted to, putting them down in the middle shelves. But this is just how I personally decided to set everything up. Theoretically, if you wanted to build this setup on your own, you could set up these PlayStations however you wanted and still have enough room for plenty of figures, some fun statues like the Crash and Cortex Pop figures that I have at the TV's feet, or whatever you wanted that you might want to put on top of this media console. Speaking of which, let's talk about the TV. Now this particular model is a Sony Bravia 4K XBR 55X 800B, and I've owned this model for several years now, and I've been enjoying tons of 4K movies and YouTube content on it. It is indeed an older panel from 2014, and while it is certainly missing the high dynamic range or HDR, 4K and dynamic 4K PlayStation 4 Pro games still look fantastic on this panel. While I have plans to upgrade this TV one day into an OLED Bravia, there's just one thing that stands out about this TV compared to many others from the time and to this day. The main chassis is made of sandblasted aluminum, and to me it just looks so much nicer than the standard black plastic that so many TVs are made of now. Aside, despite being an older model, colors look fantastic and the response time is pretty low compared to other TVs from the time, and it certainly grabs people's attention as the main centerpiece of this setup. The goal I had in mind, and I think I successfully achieved, was a functional and aesthetically pleasing credenza that, when paired with the right technology, would create a gaming experience that is simply amazing. I'd like to take a few moments here and thank my two patrons whose contributions have helped make this project possible, @Reef on Bronze tier and Patrick on Silver tier. If you'd like to join these two wonderful people and see your name immortalized in the end credits, or perhaps you'd like to see more big projects like this one in the future, maybe some flashier ones, consider donating via the Patreon link, which can be found in the top line of the description section. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.